Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here in the lovely World of Raccoons with me, Vanillaraccoon. Hey yo! Vomp, 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 vomp. How are you guys doing? I hope you're having a splendid, lovely morning, day, afternoon, evening, whatever part of the day it is that you are watching this video, because I am having a splendid night, and it is currently 1900, which means it's 12:19 late at night, and we are going to be starting off this episode over here where the fantasy themed village began with my new signature starter house. And I want to tell you guys right off the bat, what I originally wanted to do in this episode is actually not going to be going down. Now, I have tweeted about it already, and just a little side note, if you are not already doing so, then I highly encourage you guys to follow me on Twitter. That way you can go ahead and get all the latest news and updates in regards to my live streams on Twitch, along with videos and just what's going on with my life and such. But over here on this island is where I wanted to build an observatory, because in this resource pack, A Taste of Germ, when you have the custom sky feature turned on and it is nighttime, the stars look ever so beautiful, along with once in a while you may be able to catch a glimpse of a shooting star. And at least, even though this is Minecraft, a video game, whenever I see a shooting star go off in the sky, I like to just take a moment to make a wish and then hope it comes true. But this is the island that was originally mostly sand, and I turned it all into a completely grass-induced island. And believe me when I say this, waiting for the dirt to turn into grass took a night and a half in real lifetime. I literally mean that. But I'm still working out the blueprints and the design for how I want my observatory to look. So instead of doing that, we are actually going to be shifting our priorities, because something, well, moved up in the list. And as you guys can tell, we have a lot of cows. And for the most part, I think this is a good amount of moo-moos that we have just roaming about. And what I would like to do in this episode is I would just like to start off by extending this pathway that leads from the outskirts of the fantasy themed village, because again, in the event that you're new, let me just go ahead and walk you guys through the idea that I had for this. So when the next world download comes out, then if you were to come to this part of the world via the nether portal, which is located in Woogif's Way, you'll basically just, let's go ahead and go into theater mode. Well, actually no, it's not really theater mode, but basically, the idea is you come through the nether portal, and then you're going to begin to wander through the corridor, and then you're going to make your way out of Woogif's Way. And by the time the next world download goes out, the observatory will be built. So right off the bat, you'll be able to go, oh, hey, look, this looks like a pretty interesting village. You'll see the observatory, and we will have a bridge system connecting from this pathway over to the island. But then you're going to begin to see some of these fantasy themed builds. This is the fish market, where the fishermen will go ahead and store their fish. Let me just go ahead and actually give you a brief little tour. We will be getting our build on in this episode, don't you worry, you guys, but I just want to do a brief tour of what's been done so far in the fantasy themed village. But yes, this is where we're going to be storing our fish, and then right over here you'll be able to see a couple I want to say some NatGen village houses that I actually transformed into a fantasy themed house. And I actually do have a let's build video on this style right here. I think it's this NatGen house. that I transformed into a fantasy themed house. Through the power of YouTube cards, there will be one popping up at the upper right corner of your screen right now that will take you to that video. So in the event you want to learn how to build this neat little house, then you can do so. But also then, as you continue to wander around the pathway, you're then going to come up through here. You're going to go, oh look, there is Vanillaraccoon's new signature house, his fantasy themed house. And then over here we just have a farmer's shed. A farmhouse is what I'm going to call this, just for simplicity's sake. For the sake of simplicity, there we go. This is where I will go ahead and harvest all my crops and then store them into the farmer's house. Now, as you continue to go down the pathway, which will take you to the central point of the fantasy themed village, which has yet to be built. This is where you're going to see Pamela's Arboretum, and then as you begin to make your way along this little hill, this little cliffside, I have yet to actually begin doing some cliff action here, so it looks like a cliff, not just a random plummet drop, possibly breaking your ankles, maybe your shins too. But you're going to then see this open area. Now right there at the center of your screen, where that one individual moo is in the hole in the ground, is what I'm going to call it. I think I'm actually going to fill that up with water, let that be a small pond, and maybe we'll place some custom trees down, not just custom dark oak trees, but I may, in my Let's Build Road, try and throw my hand at being able to create a custom oak tree, just to get some diversity going in our trees. But also right over there where you see our one skeleton horse and a few of those moo-moos, I think I'm actually going to be plugging that hole in the ground up, and that is where actually right over here is where I'm going to be building my new structure that I'm not entirely sure what the purpose of it is going to be. All I know is throughout this whole evening today, Saturday, which is the 17th of September 2016, I've literally spent like this whole evening and into the night working on this new structure, and I'm very, very happy with how it comes out. But like I said, what I would like to do right off the bat is just begin to extend this pathway into the central point of where this fantasy themed village is going to be. But of course I'm gonna have to also I think what I'm actually going to do is, you know what, no, I think instead of laying down a pathway, what I'm going to do is I'm first going to plug up this hole in the ground. Of course, I'm going to have to relocate the moo-moos, which may be a little problematic considering they can be quite stubborn at times when it comes to getting them to follow you. But hey, that's what we got the wheat for, and if you have the will, then let Will Wheaton take its course. There is a very poor joke right there in itself, and I apologize for that. But anywho, since it's going to be nighttime, I think what I'm actually going to do is, now that I'm actually thinking about this and starting to work on it, I'm going to go ahead, plug this hole up in the ground, and then begin to get my build on. I'll bring it back when the build is maybe halfway to 3/4 of the way done, and then we'll have a little progress update for that, and then we'll take another commercial break, and then from there we'll see how this episode turns out. So let's actually just go ahead right now, take a quick commercial break, and I'll see you guys in a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with a heavy heart that I have some very, very sad news to address to you guys. Our beloved pig since day one at this fantasy themed village, our beloved pig Roameo has passed away. While I was getting my build on, and when it became nighttime, I walked into my new signature starter house, and I found pork chops just laying on the floor. And it's not like it was raw pork chops. It was cooked pork chops, and we have 3 little pieces of Roameo. You guys don't even know how sad I am. I literally started to think back about my day one, and since then, all the memories I've had with Roameo, all the screenshots I took of Roameo, and even with Roameo, during the long nights when I would be getting my build on, or just doing some mining or be AFK, and just at least have Roameo nearby. It's really devastating when your pig dies. He was my best friend. So, this is because of the passing of our beloved friend Roameo. I'm just going to go ahead and continue to get my build on, and I'm going to dedicate this house to Roameo. I still don't know what the purpose of the structure is going to be. I think it's just maybe a flat out house. A house just dedicated to Roameo, and we can item frame his cooked pork chop remains. But this is what I have so far. Now, the first thing I want to point out is that this is actually going to be a medium to large size build. And the majority of the size will come not from the from ground up, but more so from these dark oak logs that are placed horizontally and going up. The stone foundation is just it's just to show some support for this structure. And as you guys can tell, this is going to be the main entrance. Well, actually, it's going to be the only entrance into the structure. So you're going to be entering from within the cobblestone foundation. We will have a stairwell right here, and we're going to have our kitchen area right here. And the reason why I'll say this right now, in case I forget to later on throughout this video, is that, well, heat generally rises, and because there's going to be no other places in this house that we're going to have natural heating come from, I thought, well, you know what, this will be an interesting way to implement some realism into this build slash game, which is Minecraft. So I want to go ahead, I want to continue to get my build on, and I'll see you guys in a moment. So this is what the structure looks like as of now. I started to carve out window spaces within the cobblestone foundation, and once I get the first roof done, I will then begin to carve out the doorway, which is going to be at the center point of that 3x3 polished diorite wall that you see there. And then we're gonna have some window action going along this build as well. And as you guys may be able to tell, this fantasy themed structure, this fantasy themed house is actually going to somewhat resemble what we have going on over here with these two fantasy themed structures. My signature house, as you guys may be able to tell, the first layer of the roof is lower than the second roof, which is much higher up and sort of also overlaps the first roof, and the same thing can be seen over here as well. If I sound sad or a little monotone, I gotta tell you guys, it's really eating me up that Romeo's gone. I mean, sure, some people may say he's just a pig in a video game, but you don't understand. He was Roameo. He when in doubt, roam like Roameo. Boy, oh boy, am I really digging this new skin that I've made for myself. Once again, it is based off of the assassin from Assassin's Creed 3. No, Assassin's Creed 3 was wait, no, there was Assassin's Creed 1. Then there was Assassin's Creed 2 with Ezio. Then I think there was 2 more Assassin's Creed games, but they were not like number-wise. I think Assassin's Creed 3 was actually the one that was based during the American Revolution. Anywho, that is the assassin in which my Minecraft skin is based off of. although I still think my skin is a little too dark for to match what my skin complexion is in real life. But hey, it is what it is. So, are you guys ready to see the view from the rooftop of from Romeo's house? All right, let's go ahead and take a gander. So, this is the view from the top of Romeo's house here in the fantasy themed village located in the lovely World of Raccoons. And I gotta say, I really dig this view. I think now that I have somewhat of a bird's eye view without going into cheaty weedy game mode 1, game mode 3, I'm not sure if there's actually a game mode 2. If there is, someone feel free to let me know in the comment section what exactly game mode 2 is. But since I have somewhat of a bird's eye view of what we have so far in the fantasy themed village, I'm starting to get an idea as to how I want the pathway to branch out from over there all the way to over here. And I think, you know what, I said in the first clip that I wanted to create a pond there, and I'm still gonna do that. But I think what I'm going to do around the surrounding bits of land is I'm just going to get a field of wheat, a field of beetroot, a field of potatoes, a field of carrots, and get a official farm for this fantasy themed village going. So let me go ahead, do a leap of faith, and 3, 2, 1. I actually thought I was gonna die there for a moment. Ooh, I actually ended up taking 3 hearts of damage, it looks like. But this is what the structure looks like overall. And as I was saying at the beginning of this video, the structure is going to be medium to large in terms of where the horizontal dark oak logs are at, not counting the cobblestone foundation. Well, now let's go ahead and take a look inside. This is where a small desk is going to be at, and then just for some lighting, I decided to use the end rod as the light source for this room. And like I said, we're gonna have our kitchen area right here, and as I stated in the previous clip, heat generally rises, so we're gonna have heat flowing through the kitchen up this stairwell, and then here is going to be the bedroom. Now I will be placing a light source in this bedroom. I just have to figure out exactly where I want it to go. But also, one thing I would like to point out is we have a little bit of a skylight, although at this angle it's not so much a skylight because the second roof from the center point of this house is right above it, so it's kind of obstructing our sun. But hey, it's a nice little way where if I were to make my way to the top of the house and then I didn't want to take too much fall damage, I could just drop down to this sorry about that. I could drop down to this roof, and then like what we saw over there, we also have another skylight little panel that we can open up or just drop in, and bam. So let me go ahead, finish up this house, and I'll see you guys when we're ready to end the episode. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is a brand new day in real life, and also I suppose it is a brand new day here in the lovely World of Raccoons as well. It is not so late at night, but it is rather early in the evening, and I just finished spending pretty much this whole new day, Sunday, the 18th of September, just getting my build on and recovering from the loss of our beloved friend, our piggy wig, Roameo. You're not Roameo. I love you. You're a piggy wig, and I love you. Don't get me wrong, but you're not my Roameo. So let's go ahead and take a gander at what I've done. Now, before I go ahead and actually show you guys the whole kit and caboodle, I would like to state this right here and now that this Let's Play video should be going up on the 19th of September, which is a Monday, and if I remember correctly, to do all the off-camera uploading bits. This video should be going out at approximately 1500 Eastern Standard Time. For those of you who do not know, now that school is back in session for pretty much everyone around the world, I'm going to be uploading my videos at 1500 Eastern Standard Time, so that way for those on the East Coast of the US America, you'll be able to, right around the time you get out of school, you'll be able to tune in to the latest episode of whatever it is that I'm uploading from a series. But if you happen to be living in the Central, Mountain, and Western time zone, then I at least ask that you don't go out of your way to disrupt your studies to watch this video. But in the event that you're from across the pond, then I suppose 1500, let's see, that's 5 hours. It should then be about 2000, which is going to be 8 p.m. in the evening. So at that point in time, I guess you can go ahead and watch the videos. But I just wanted to let you guys know my current upload schedule, along with what I ask in the event that, you know, if you're young and you're in school and a video happens to go out, please don't disrupt your studies from just to watch a video, because hey, your studies are temporary, whereas YouTube is here forever. Well, at least for the time being. But this is what we have going on. So let me go ahead and just walk you guys through how I went about composing what you see here. So I literally would run from that house all the way up this hillside. I still have to do a cliff job action over there. I'll probably do that during my live stream that I'll be doing on the 19th of September, which is the same day this video will be going up. Oh yeah, live stream will be going on Monday, starting around hold on a second, around 1700 Eastern Standard Time. So if you can tune in, be sure to do so. Otherwise, you know, it'll be saved as a past broadcast. It'll be archived on Twitch. So I would run up to this spot, and then on this block space right here, I would literally just, hold on, let me go ahead and get my crosshair up. I would focus it right there, so that way I would be staring at that fence post that is on the right side of the wall closest to us, and then I would just sit here and begin to visualize what it is I wanted to create, and then I did my best to take my thoughts and put them into virtual reality, I guess I'm gonna say. So as we can tell, we have the beginning of a pond, which I was going to connect it to this pond right here, but then I thought to myself, that is a little too much water action. I don't want every little body of water around this area to be connected to one another some way or another. And then I decided, you know what, if I'm going to have a little water, if I'm going to have a small little duck pond right there, I wanted to extend wrapping around this house. But like I said, in a clip or two ago, I wanted to get an official farm going that consisted of wheat, beetroot, potatoes, and carrots. But as I started to get my build on, I realized, you know what, I'm going to spread out this farm. I don't want it to be claustrophobic. I don't want each segment of the farm to be too close to one another, where I would stand, say, from this point right here and go, okay, where do my taters begin? And where do my carrots end? Where do the beetroots begin to sprout? And where does my wheat begin to grow from? And so what I'm thinking of doing is pretty much I'm going to continue. I will be, you know, putting a pond right there, but from the left side, the side opposite of us of this pond, just pretend there's a pond there for now, but the side opposite from us going into that tree line is where the farm is going to be at, and that's actually what I'm going to be working on during the live stream that I'll be doing from here in the lovely World of Raccoons. But again, going back to how I went about composing what you see before you, I then thought, you know what, let's go ahead and use some coarse dirt, because I was actually watching one of Germ's videos. I think it was his latest Building Big with Germ video, or maybe it was 2 episodes back from that series of his, where he was reconstructing a bridge. And while he was reconstructing a bridge, he was clearing out the space where he was going to line it up with the entrance to his castle area, and I saw that he had some coarse dirt going on by the water bed, And I thought to myself, you know what? That's an interesting thing. I think I'm gonna start doing that. And I also noticed he had some leaf blocks placed on top of the coarse dirt blocks, along with sprinkling leaf blocks around the coarse dirt. And then he had some bone meal action going on. Although I think he actually had double tall ferns, and then like what you see, wrong key. Like what you see right there, we have some grass bits, small, and then some medium, and mostly large bits of it going on. The reason why I'm still sitting here as the sun is setting is because I would like to see how much lighting those two end rods illuminate, and it seems like that's a decent amount for what we have going on right now. But this is pretty much it. Now, I started to work on the pathway, as you guys... Ooh, that's a zombie. I started to work on the pathway, as you guys may be able to tell. We have this cute little bridge that actually has a pretty nice arch going on for it. Not arc, an arch, my bad. The words you say when you're being hunted down by a Zambo. So, sorry about that. I think... overall, that is really going to do it for this episode. Again, I'm going to be building my official... Hello there. I'm going to be building my official farm all the way back on this side of where this little stream connects. I will be connecting this little stream to this pond somehow or another. I'm not entirely sure. I may create another one of those cute bridges that we have going on over there. It'll go over this stream right here, wrap around over this way and such. But okay, this guy is obviously telling me to wrap things up. So that's gonna do it for this episode, you guys. Thank you all ever so much for tuning in, and remember, if you like what you see, then please give that like button a hug and subscribe for the latest buzz. And if you had a blast with a good laugh, then make sure you favorite this video and share it with a friend or two. But until next time, peeps, this is Vanillaraccoon without Roameo. Peace out.